Let's take a short look at Transformers Generation Studio Series Transformers the Movie Constructicon Mixmaster. We have our final Constructicon here. Mixmaster looking very much like his toy G1 cement truck vehicle in a lot of interesting ways. I feel like he looks more toy-like than the other Constructicons. Specifically, the fact that his cab is so much larger than his mixing barrel really gives him this like chibi look that I don't get from the other vehicles. I do like the paint apps on here. Again, the Constructicons have a basic color scheme, so any points where you can add a little bit of silver to pop things out gives them more of a premium feel. I really love the hubs here. Those are terrific. I like the grille up front. I like the purple painted windows. I think I would have liked a little bit of silver trim on the back or maybe taillights back here painted, but it's, you know, it's not bad that we don't have it. It's not the end of the world. He does feel nice and chunky in hand. And I struggle to remember my size classes, but I think this is the Voyager one versus the Deluxes. And then obviously we've got the 2-pack of liters, but Mixmaster rolls just fine. His truck barrel doesn't move or do anything, but he does have a little storage spot for his gun, a little 5mm port, as well as some on the sides. You know, it's a cement truck. It is an old 80s style cement truck that you don't really, at least in my town, I don't see anymore this style of truck. In fact, if we're comparing him, this is the type of truck I see these days. So it's really interesting to me that Combiner Wars did this modern Mixmaster design. You can see here kind of some of the differences just in terms of the paint. In the, like we have the fuel tank back here. We have the separate engine, the smokestacks, and obviously the orientation, right? If you're trying to make him look G1, he's facing backwards versus where they actually are oriented. The cement truck pour is up top, and then you assign a chute to it and you can send it wherever you want. And it gives, this design is in a lot of ways better because it gives the driver more direct control and better visibility as they're using the truck. You know, I definitely understand where fans are like, no, we just want the original thing that was on the screen. So for Studio Series, it's absolutely going to be this guy. Although I do think the truck, the cement turner could have been bigger. As Mixmaster is the last of our Constructicons, we've got our 2 Voyagers, we've got our 2 Deluxes, and our 2-pack. So we can see kind of how all 6 of them look together. And obviously we have the extra bits of Devastator that we can attach as a trailer here and the wings. But for this review, we're just looking at Mixmaster. This isn't a Devastator review, so we're not going to worry about those extra bits. We're doing a separate video, and as a teaser, that video will be a giveaway for Devastator, so keep an eye out for that later in the week. But as a set of construction vehicles, they do look really good. I think that they do have this like cute like, again, this chibi squished style that makes them very, very endearing. They're nice overall, nice and chunky. I do think the 2 Deluxes are the weak links, but Mixmaster fits right in with the rest of the crew like this. Mixmaster has a very simple transformation, just like all the Constructicons. If you're not worrying about his limb mode, you're just going to take that gun off. We're going to come in and we're going to open up this flap here, which lets us unplug these arms and bring these shoulders down on either side, like so. We can come in and pull up these flaps, which lets us take these feet out of the way. They're going to rotate an accordion down, like so. With that done, we can split the legs. We can fold in our shins, and then we're going to flip the panels that are flipped down here. So this panel is going to flip out. We can get it. There we go. And then this panel can flip down and in. Same thing on this side to give him his heel. There we go. Flip that back in. We flip down his chest, bring his arms around, And then we can take this barrel piece, or not barrel, but the, I guess, cement truck spigot, flip it up, flip this around, and then flip it back in. And then give him his gun in hand. And here is Mixmaster in robot mode. I will say, when I did the short, I flipped this foot out. I think I just personally kind of like the wide robot feet, but I recognize that that's not his intended transformation. His intended transformation is like this. But yeah, Mixmaster looks pretty great. I really like that head sculpt. I think it's a little hard to get it moving, but that's more due to reach rather than any mobility issues on the head sculpt itself, but it does wiggle pretty well. And yeah, it's just got a lot of character. I always liked Mixmaster's design. It feels like a permutation of the Decepticon symbol, a little more derivative, a little more changed than like Soundwave, but I like the double crests on his forehead, the high cheekbone like helmet piece, and then that silver face and that nose guard. We got 360 on the shoulders. They can, due to transformation, they can move out that far. We do have bicep swivel. We've got a 90-degree knee bend. I do wish and feel like it could have been deeper than that. The thing that gets in the way is the wheel piece here. If this cut had been a little shallower, then we would have had a little more clearance to get a little deeper elbow bend. No wrist articulation. Unfortunately, due to transformation, no waist articulation. We can go out that far. We can kick up so high, kick back so high. I do like the way this was designed. The cement trunk back is not really in the way. We do have thigh swivel. We have a 90-degree knee bend, and we do have ankle tilt. So yeah, Mixmaster is slightly less articulated than your average Deluxe or Voyager, but as a result, you get a pretty cool looking robot that does transform into a limb. And I do like the details. Again, I think it's a good balance. It looks simple in terms of the color breakout, just like the cartoon would, but we get some bit of details here, so it still has a premium feel. And the paint that is there, like the glossy paint on this matte plastic, does give a nice bit of textural contrast. I think Mixmaster here looks pretty dang good. Now, with his buddies, first up, here he is with Combiner Wars Mixmaster. And this is one of the few times where I think the Studio Series, like retro Super G1 cartoon design works better for me than the Combiner Wars redesign. I just think that the certain proportions, I like the wider chest here than the narrower chest. I do like the silver here and the gold accents and things like that, but I just think the proportions for the Studio Series of Mixmaster work better than Combiner Wars. Whereas, like, I'm the rare fan that I like redesigns like Long Haul in Combiner Wars. Here, I do tend towards the Studio Series version. And his rest of his Constructicon buddies, they are a pretty dang good looking team here. I think that if you're getting a Constructicon, you're going to get all of them. But I think if for whatever insane reason you were to only get one, out of the Deluxes, you'd get Scrapper. But out of the Voyagers, I would definitely suggest Mixmaster. I think these two are the best out of the whole group. Well, I like the 2-pack also, but then you're getting to a higher price point. But yeah, I think that as individual bots, they're not bad. It's really just the tread guys. Those guys always end up looking awkward. And yeah, Mixmaster is a ton of fun. This isn't a review in the traditional sense, because if you're getting the Constructicons, you are already getting Mixmaster. If you're not getting the Constructicons, you weren't going to get Mixmaster anyway. But this will be the end of the video, the end of our look at Transformers Generations Studio Series Transformers the Movie Constructicon Mixmaster. The next video will be a short showing off Devastator, and then we'll have a full Devastator review. And keep an eye out for that one, because that will be a giveaway of these guys. So if you want to win your own Devastator for free, check out the video coming out Saturday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.